Hey folks, this is Rob from LearnByTheDrop.com. Learn by the Drop is a place to learn Drupal, and this lesson is going to be lesson 8 in my Getting Started with Drupal series, and we're going to take a close look at organizing and customizing the front page of your Drupal site. The front page is the first thing that many users will see when they come to your site, so I want to make sure that you know how to set it up just the way you want to. So let's get over to our Drupal test site and get started. Okay, so here we are back at the localhost Drupal test site that I've set up, and I just want to give a quick look at the front page so we know what everything looks like before we start making changes. And we've got some menu items on the left. We've got navigation, and we've also got the post topics from the categories that we created, and we've got a bunch of blog posts here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to wipe the slate clean. And then once we've wiped the slate clean to the front page, we'll then start adding different items using a couple of different techniques that I'm going to show you. So let's go over to administration, and we're going to head over to administer content. Okay, so once we're on the admin view, we're going to go to content. And what we're going to do is, first thing is we're going to filter for everything that has been promoted to the front page and has a type of blog entry. And we're going to click filter. So this should show us everything that has been promoted. And what we're going to do is we're going to click this box right here, and that'll select everything. And we're then going to select demote from the front page. So what this is going to do is it's going to keep the content. The content will still be accessible at the blog address. It just won't be on the front page anymore. So let's do that. Okay, so the update has been performed. Now let's go back and take a look at our front page and see what we've got there. Now, one thing that you'll notice is that if you don't have any nodes that are promoted to your front page, you're going to always see this welcome to your new Drupal website and a bunch of other information. And there's a couple of ways that you can get rid of that. One is by promoting a node to the front page, and another one is by actually creating a new template for the front page, which we're going to look at in a little bit. First thing we're going to do, though, is we're going to remove the last two pieces here, which is we're going to take these blocks off the front page as well. So we're going to start completely blank. We're going to go back to administer, blocks, and so we've got our navigation bar that is in the upper left. And what we're going to do is we're going to say show only on listed pages, and we're just going to really only show it on the admin pages. And I'm just going to put in admin and then admin /star, and what that will do is that will make sure that it shows up on pages that are below the admin screen as well. So I've selected show only on the listed pages. We're going to save that. And then we want to go to our user login as well. And actually what we're going to do with user login is we're just going to disable that by selecting none. And then same thing with our tags. And we can always come back and add this back later. So now, once you've made a couple of changes here, the next thing that you'll want to do is you'll want to save. And I'm going to go back and make sure that my navigation is set properly, and it is. So if we go to the home page, we shouldn't see anything but this message. So here we are. We've got a blank home page. Welcome to your Drupal website. Okay, so what now? How do we get the home page repopulated? Well, there's a couple of different options. One option to start repopulating the home page is that we could create a node that we display as the home page. So let's go to node add, And let's create a page. And what this page is going to be is it's just going to be something that that we want to appear on the front page. Let's call this front page node and just put a little content here. And when we come down for our publishing options, we're going to say published, promoted to the front page. Let's save that. Okay. So now, if we go back to home, we should see now that we have this node here. Now you can put whatever you want in this node. We could embed video there. It could be a video introduction. It could be images. It could be, just about anything that you want that you can put in a Drupal page. So just keep that in mind. But we're gonna keep it pretty sparse right now. So let's say that we have this item here, and we want to leave that there. And next thing we might want to do is we might want to have some other content on the front page that's not in a node, but content in a block. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to admin, build, block, and we're going to put a couple of blocks on the front page. Now, what you want to put in the blocks that you put on the front page is completely up to you. But we'll just, use a couple of the blocks we have here as an example. Now, one of the things with blocks is that whenever you are working in a certain theme, that theme should be showing you the different block regions. And you can see here the Aquamarina theme has quite a few block regions. And the one region that you'll want to look for is content. And you see we have content top, content bottom, and basically content top is going to be above any content you put on the front page, which is basically the node that we created, and content bottom would be below that. So your page that you created that you put on the front page would be sandwiched between these two. So be aware of the different regions. Really good themes have a good number of regions that allow you, flexibility in the different layouts. So let's say that we want to have recent blog posts on our front page, and let's drag those up, and let's say that we want to have those here in the sidebar. So let me grab that again, drag it up, and I'm going to put that in sidebar first. So we're going to have recent blog posts, and we want to save that. Okay, now that we've saved that, let's do a little configuration on that so that we just show it on the front page. So what we do is we select show only on the listed pages, and we use this front tag. And the front tag is one that you'll use in a number of places in Drupal to indicate that you want an item on the front page. And you can see that it automatically gives it a title of recent blog posts. And you could change that if you like, but we're just going to leave it. And we're going to save that block. So now if we go back home, we should see that we have our recent blog posts on the front page in the left side. Now let's go back and let's look at one or two more blocks. And what you can do is you can actually look down in the disabled section and see the blocks that are available to you. We can have a who's online block, and we can put that in sidebar first as well. And we can drag and drop that just so we can have that below recent blog posts. And click Save Blocks. And now, we can also configure that so that only shows up on the front page. Show only on the listed pages. Okay. Now you can see that we've got our two blocks on the left side. And if we wanted to, we could put a block in any of these regions. And I'll actually show you an example that I've created on my website at awakenvoice.com. That is sort of similar to this, where I've used the top region. I've got a page here. I've got another item published on the right side here. So I've kind of created a column style view. And this is just an example of what you can do with different nodes and different blocks. And you'll see the difference between the node and the block is I could click through to the node, but the block, you can't click through on the title. And these are blocks as well. And how the blocks look once you are, once you've added them, really also depends on the theme that you're using at a particular time. And let's see, one thing that we could also do is we could create a block. For example, select Add Block. And we can call this block description Banner Block. Not give it a title, and just say this could be a banner that goes in the header or footer even, and show only on the listed page, front, save it. And now you want to come down and find your banner block, and let's just say we want to put that up in header middle. And then save that. Let's go to the home page. And now you see that content's there. So you really have a lot of flexibility. You can have, multiple nodes that you create on the front page that are just for the front page, and you can, use blocks that are just on the front page in a wide variety of manners. Whether or not you use a node or a block really, is really based on, whether you want something to be searchable, whether you're going to use something on other areas of the site. Blocks aren't searchable by Drupal, but you can use blocks in other areas on other pages of the site as well, which, really makes them flexible and very useful for content that isn't really part of the main content on your site. So that's one technique that you can use to get your front page populated. Blocks that are specifically geared towards the front page and placing one or more nodes on the front page as well. Now, I think an important question is, well, heck, what if you don't want to put any nodes on the front page? Well, you can do that. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. What we're going to do is we are going to create a special theme just for the front page. So first thing we're going to need to do is head over to our Drupal installation directory, and we're going to make a copy of a theme file. Okay, so we're here in our Drupal directory, and what we're going to do is go to Sites, All, Themes. And the theme that we're using right now is Aqua Marina. And what we want to look for is page.tpl.php. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a copy of this. I'm going to select copy, and then I'm just going to paste it. So here we have copy of page.tpl.php, and I'm going to rename that. And I'm going to call that page-front.tpl.php. Now, if that in itself is not going to change anything, but next thing we're going to do is open that, and we're going to do some editing on it. And you want to edit this in a text editor like a Notepad or a Note Tab Lite. You don't want to edit this in Microsoft Word. So let's just take a quick look at what we have here, first of all, if we've got the header information, and then we've got information that defines the blocks and where the content goes. And let's just say what we want to do is we don't want to have any content items on our front page. We just want our front page to be solely blocks. Well, we can change that. And what we need to do is come down and look for the content. And let's see. So this is our feed icon. And then we have our different block sections. You can see that sidebar first. And here's content bottom. And right here you have your div for printing content. And here's what we're going to do. We're just going to eliminate that. We're going to select delete. We're going to eliminate that. And we're going to click save. Now, since this is on localhost and I'm doing it in the main directory, this change should show up right away. If you're doing it locally and the site's in the web, you would need to upload this to your theme directory on the web. So let's go back to our site and now refresh our home page. And now we can see that the content has disappeared. So if we want to, we can move some of these blocks around and not have to worry about the content or the node that we've placed in the front page getting in the way. So let's move these into preface first. Who's online? Let's just say preface last. And so that would be preface first and preface last. And then we can, let's say move navigation into sidebar last. Excuse me. We're not going to change that. We'll leave that in sidebar first. Let's move banner block into sidebar last. And we're going to save that. Okay, now let's go back to our home page. And we can see how things have changed here. We have recent blog posts and who's online have moved to the top. They've moved next to each other. And we've got the information that was our banner that has now moved to the lower right side in the block region that we placed it in. So, basically what we did is we basically took out the content section so that now all you need to do in order to populate the front page is you could populate the front page with blocks. And so what I recommend you do is, first of all, of course, always make a copy of this, because if you were to make a mistake, you of course don't want to ruin your site. So what you could do is I could go back and close this, go back to this page.front.tpl.php. I give it a .old. And yes, I'll change that extension. Now if we go back to our site and refresh, we can see the difference. Now we've got that node and the feed icon that pops up again. Now, if you want to replace both the node and the feed icon, well, you could do that. We're going to show you how to do that. So we're going to reopen. Actually, we'll rename this since we're going to re-enable it. Yes, we'll change it. And I'm going to open this with no tab light. And I'm going to look for feed. And it says here PHP print feed icons. Now, you don't have to delete these things. What you can do is you can comment it out like this. And save it. So now if we refresh, we see that not only the content is gone, the feed icon is gone as well. So you've got a couple of different options, and really what it comes down to is your imagination on how you want to place, so what kind of blocks you want to place, or how you want to place those blocks on the front page. And you'll notice that, we still have everything else that we've created in our site here. So now, we can just show a snippet of the blog on the front page, but somebody can still go to blog in order to see all of the items that we published. Okay, so now I'm just going to quickly go back and clean this up a little bit. And put a couple of these blocks back in the sidebar. And we're going to save it. And let's go to our banner block as well. And we can delete that if we want. Actually, don't want to do that. I'm just going to click delete. Do it the way that actually works. So we're going to delete the banner block. And now we're going to save our blocks. And go back to the home page. So you can see that we've got this big empty space here that we could fill with another block if we wanted to, or we could revert back to our standard format, and simply by changing the name of this page-front.tpl.php, and of course that brings up a good point, is that one of the great things about Drupal theming is that if I wanted to create a theme just for example, my about page, I would change this from page-front or make a copy of it and change it to page-about.tpl.php. Okay, well, that's going to be the end of our lesson today, lesson 8 of the Getting Started with Drupal series of videos. Just some real basic tips on how to customize the front page of your Drupal site. Keep up with all the videos in this series, and even maybe purchase some premium versions of the videos that are at higher resolution and have absolutely no advertising over at learnbythedrop.com/getting started. Thanks for watching.